Don't come this year, Dad. Brad's family is more important. My daughter Melissa said it like she was canceling a dentist appointment. Not apologizing. Just informing me. I held the phone for a long time after she hung up, stared at the Christmas lights I'd already put up. Same lights Margaret and I had hung together for 32 years. I unplugged them, sat in the dark. What Melissa didn't know was that her mother had left instructions, specific ones, and Christmas was about to teach my daughter a lesson Margaret had been planning for 2 years. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. I'm 71 years old. Raised Melissa by myself the last 6 years after Margaret died. Pancreatic cancer. 11 months from diagnosis to holding my hand in hospice while Melissa checked her phone in the corner. She'd come for 3 days. Left early because Brad had a work thing. That was 2018. Now it's December 2024. 6 Christmases without Margaret. 5 of them with Melissa treating me like an obligation she kept meaning to cancel. The call came December 20th, Tuesday. I was wrapping presents for the twins, Emma and Tyler, 7 years old. My grandkids that I saw maybe 4 times a year when Melissa remembered I existed. "Hey, Dad." Her voice had that busy quality, the one that meant she was doing something else while talking to me. "Melissa, I was just wrapping the twins' gifts. Got Emma that art set she wanted and Tyler..." "Dad, about Christmas." I stopped taping. "What about it?" "We're doing it at Brad's parents' house this year. It makes more sense. They have the big house and Brad's whole family will be there, and I thought we were doing it here. Like always." Dad, patient. Like I was being difficult. That was before Brad's mom offered to host. She's doing this whole thing. Catered food, a real tree, professional decorations. Professional decorations. Margaret and I had decorated our tree with ornaments Melissa made in grade school, popsicle stick stars, construction paper angels, all boxed up in the attic waiting for this Christmas. "So come there," I said. "I'll bring the gifts. Be happy to meet Brad's family properly." Silence. The kind that has weight. "The thing is, Dad, Brad's family is pretty big, like 30 people. And the house is packed. There's just not really room for..." She didn't finish. Didn't have to. "Not room for me." "It's not like that. It's just... this year is complicated. Brad's sister is coming from Portland with her kids. His brother's whole family. Brad's parents really want it to be just their family. You understand. Just their family. And you're part of their family now. Dad," warning tone, "don't make this into something it's not." "What is it then?" "It's me trying to manage the holidays without guilt trips. Brad and I talked about it. We're doing Christmas with his family. Maybe we can do something with you like the week after. Low-key, just us and the twins." My hand was shaking. I set down the tape. "The week after Christmas?" "Yeah. We'll come to you. Have dinner. The twins can open your presents then. It'll be nice. Quieter." "Don't come this year, Dad. Brad's family is more important." I didn't say it. She did. Not in those exact words. But that's what I heard. What she meant. "Melissa, I have to go. Brad's calling. We'll figure out a day after Christmas, okay? Love you." Click. I sat there, holding the phone, The Christmas lights were still in boxes in the living room. Margaret's ornaments in the attic. Ham already ordered from the butcher. Pies planned. Melissa's favorite, pumpkin with real whipped cream. The house was quiet. Same house where Melissa grew up. Where Margaret died in our bedroom 6 years ago holding my hand. Where I'd been planning to host Christmas for my daughter and her family, like I'd done every year since the twins were born, except last year. Last year, Melissa said they were taking it easy and just doing Christmas at home, small. I'd driven over Christmas morning with gifts, knocked on the door at 9 a.m., like we'd planned. Brad opened it, 4 inches, just his face. "Oh, hey, Frank. Little early, man." "Early?" Melissa said 9. "Yeah, we're actually still in pajamas. Kids are opening their stuff. It's kind of a mess." I heard the twins squealing, heard wrapping paper, heard Melissa laugh. "I brought their gifts." "Cool. Just leave them on the porch? We'll grab them in a bit." "I thought I'd—" "Brad?" Melissa's voice from inside. "Who is it? Your dad?" "Oh." Not excited, just factual. "Tell him we'll call him later." Brad gave me an apologetic shrug. "Sorry, man. Holiday chaos, you know." He closed the door. I heard the deadbolt slide. I stood there on their porch, the porch I'd helped with the down payment for, holding gifts for grandchildren I wasn't allowed to see open. In the driveway, I could see Brad's parents' car, his sister's SUV. They'd had room for Brad's family, just not for me. I left the presents on the porch, drove home, made myself a sandwich, sat at the kitchen table, the one I'd built from oak 40 years ago, and ate alone while my daughter celebrated Christmas with people who mattered. She called that night, 8:30. "Hey, Dad. Sorry about this morning. It was just crazy. The twins loved your gifts, though. Tyler's been wearing that superhero cape all day." No apology for lying. No invitation to come by later. Just a report, letting me know the gifts had been adequate. That was last Christmas. Now, this year, she wasn't even pretending. Not even inviting me for the morning, just cutting me out completely. I opened my laptop, stared at the banking app. The numbers glowed. $3,200 transferred to Melissa on December 1st. Mortgage payment, $850 on December 8th. Car payment, $430 on December 12th. Emergency, Tyler needs new shoes and winter coat. I scrolled back. November, October, September. The transfers blurred together into a continuous hemorrhage. $4,100 in November, $3,800 in October, $4,500 in September. That month included the twins' school supplies and unexpected car repair. I opened the spreadsheet, the one I'd been keeping without really meaning to. Just tracking. Documenting every transfer because some part of me knew I'd need the list someday. $52,400 in 2024 alone. That was January through December 20th, not counting the $35,000 for the down payment on the house she'd just barred me from visiting for Christmas, not counting the $23,000 wedding 7 years ago. The one where Margaret was already sick but smiled through it, wore the wig, pretended she wasn't dying because Melissa wanted everything perfect, not counting the $18,000 I'd given them when Tyler was born and Melissa quit her job. "Just until I get back on my feet, Dad." 6 years later, she'd never gone back to work. Added up, $128,400 in direct gifts and down payments, plus the monthly transfers. 5 years of monthly transfers averaging $3,800. $128,400 plus $228,000 in transfers. $356,400 total. I'd given my daughter $356,400 in 6 years. Since Margaret died. That was just money. Didn't count the babysitting. 52 times last year. I'd counted. Melissa would text an hour before. Emergency? Can you take the twins? Brad has a thing. I'd cancel plans. Drop everything. Drive 40 minutes to their house. Watch Emma and Tyler for 6, 7, 8 hours while Melissa and Brad went to dinner. Went to Brad's work party. Went to Brad's sister's birthday. Never asked if I had plans. Just assumed. And I'd always said yes, because they were my grandkids, my daughter. What else was I going to do? Last February, Melissa called at 10 p.m. Dad, I need a huge favor. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. Brad and I just got invited to this couples retreat thing this weekend. It's in the mountains, really good for marriages, but we need someone to watch the twins. This weekend, Melissa, I have the veterans breakfast on Saturday. I'm on the planning committee. Dad, that tone, the one that said I was being difficult. This is important. For my marriage. You want Brad and me to be happy, right? I'd skip the veterans breakfast, watch the twins for 3 days while Melissa posted photos from a ski resort. Hot tubs, wine by the fire, couples massages. When she picked up the twins Sunday night, she was glowing. That was exactly what we needed. Thanks, Dad. No offer to pay me, no acknowledgement that I'd canceled my plans, just thanks, the way you'd thank someone for holding a door. I scrolled through my phone. Text messages from Melissa going back months. Can you help with the electric bill? It's higher than expected. Car insurance is due and we're short. Emergency, furnace repair. Need $800. Every message started with can you or need emergency. Not one started with how are you or haven't talked in a while or the twins miss you. I scrolled back to the last time Melissa had called just to talk. No money request, no babysitting favor. Just called to see how I was. June 2022, 2.5 years ago, she'd called to tell me she was pregnant with Tyler, and even that call had ended with, "We're going to need help with the medical bills. Brad's insurance doesn't cover everything." I set down the phone, looked around my house. The living room where Melissa learned to walk. Kitchen where she'd done her homework at that oak table. Her bedroom upstairs, unchanged since she moved out. Still had her posters on the walls, her books on the shelves. The bedroom where Margaret died. I'd stayed in this house because it was Melissa's inheritance. The plan. Margaret and I had talked about it. After I died, the house would go to Melissa. Sell it, keep it, whatever she wanted. It was worth maybe $380,000 now. Paid off? No mortgage, just property taxes and upkeep. I kept it perfect for her. New roof 3 years ago, $18,000. Furnace replaced, $6,500. Kitchen appliances updated, $4,200. All so Melissa would inherit something valuable. And now she was telling me not to come for Christmas because Brad's family was more important. I walked upstairs, stood in the doorway of Margaret's room, our room. The bed where she died was gone. I'd donated it. Couldn't sleep there after. But her chair was still by the window. The reading chair. Leather, worn smooth from 30 years of her sitting there with books. On the side table, a photo. Margaret and Melissa. Melissa was 6. They were both laughing. Margaret was teaching her to bake. Flour on both their faces. Next to it, an envelope, thick, sealed. My name on the front in Margaret's handwriting. Frank, open if Melissa forgets. I'd found it 2 years ago, going through Margaret's things, papers, photos, books. This envelope was in her nightstand, sealed, clear instructions on the front. I'd never opened it, didn't need to. Melissa hadn't forgotten. She'd been busy, sure, distracted, but she called. She visited sometimes. She was raising kids, building a life. That's normal. I picked up the envelope now, held it. Margaret's handwriting was shaky. This was late stage when her hands trembled. But the message was clear. Open if Melissa forgets. Forgets what? I broke the seal. Inside, 3 pages. Margaret's handwriting, shakier than the envelope, but legible. Frank, if you're reading this, it means Melissa forgot who raised her. Forgot what family means. Forgot that love isn't a bank account. I've watched it starting. The way she looks at you like you're an obligation. The way she calculates what she can get instead of what she can give. I wanted to believe it was just stress. New baby, new marriage. But I know my daughter. I see what she's becoming. And I'm writing this because I won't be there to stop it, but you need to. Frank, you will give her everything. You already are. You'll give until there's nothing left because that's who you are. You gave me everything for 38 years. You'll do the same for Melissa because you think that's love. But it's not. Not when it's only going one direction. So I'm giving you permission. Permission to say no. Permission to let her fail. Permission to set the boundary. I know you won't set on your own. I've made arrangements. There's a secondary will with Gerald. He has instructions. If you decide Melissa needs to learn what she's taking for granted, he'll know what to do. Don't let her forget me. Don't let her forget what we taught her. She'll only remember if she loses something she can't get back. I love you. Take care of yourself. That's not selfish. That's survival. Margaret. I read it 3 times. Stood there in Margaret's chair with her letter in my hand and her photograph on the table and the silence of the house she'd died in pressing against my ears. Margaret had known. 2 years before she died, she'd seen what Melissa was becoming, what I was enabling, and she'd made arrangements. Gerald Hartman, our lawyer. I'd seen him twice since Margaret died. Once for the will reading, once to update my own will last year. I pulled out my phone, called his office. Hartman Legal, this is Susan. Susan, this is Frank Morrison. I need to speak with Gerald. It's about my wife's estate. Oh, Mr. Morrison. Of course. Gerald's in court this morning, but he has an opening at 2 this afternoon. Would that work? That works. I hung up. Looked at the letter again. Read the last line. She'll only remember if she loses something she can't get back. My phone buzzed. Text from Melissa. Hey, Dad. Forgot to mention we're going to need help with the mortgage this month. Brad's bonus got delayed and Christmas expenses are killing us. Can you transfer the usual amount by Friday? TSX. No, please. No acknowledgement that she just uninvited me from Christmas. Just a request. An assumption. The usual amount by Friday. I looked at the text. Looked at Margaret's letter. Looked at the spreadsheet still open on my laptop downstairs showing $356,400 in 6 years. My hands were steady. That surprised me. I typed back, "No." Just that. One word. I hit send. Then I picked up the phone and called my bank. "First National, this is Rebecca. How can I help you?" "Rebecca, this is Frank Morrison, account ending in 4738. I need to remove an authorized user from my checking account." "Of course, Mr. Morrison. I can help with that. Which authorized user?" "Melissa Morrison, my daughter. Remove her access immediately. All accounts." "I can do that right now. May I ask if there's been any suspicious activity?" "No suspicious activity, just protecting my assets." "Understood. I'm showing Melissa Morrison had transfer authorization on your checking and savings. Removing now. This will take effect immediately. She'll lose access within the hour." "Good. Also, I need to set up a new checking account. Transfer $100,000 from savings to the new account. Make sure the new account has no authorized users except me." "Absolutely. I can have that set up by end of business today. Will you be coming in to sign the paperwork?" "I'll be there at 4. "Perfect. I'll have everything ready." I hung up. Looked at my phone. Melissa had seen the no text. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Then, "What?" I didn't respond. Dots again. Then, "Dad, did you see my message? I need the mortgage payment by Friday." I set down the phone. At 2 p.m., I walked into Gerald Hartman's office. He stood when I entered. Gerald was 68, had handled Margaret's and my legal work for 30 years, drafted our wills, set up the trusts for Melissa when the kids were born. "Frank, good to see you. Susan said this was about Margaret's estate?" I handed him the letter. He read it slowly, looked up. "You found this?" "In her nightstand. 2 years ago. Never opened it until today. And now you're opening it because—" "Melissa uninvited me from Christmas. Said Brad's family is more important. Then an hour later texted asking for mortgage money. Like I'm an ATM she occasionally remembers to say hello to." Gerald nodded slowly, set down the letter. "Margaret called me 6 months before she died. Said she'd written you a letter. Said if you ever came to me with it, I should give you this." He opened his desk drawer, pulled out a sealed envelope, thick, official-looking. "This is a secondary trust Margaret established, separate from the primary will you saw at the reading. She funded it with $50,000 from her inheritance from her parents. Kept it secret, even from you." He opened the envelope, pulled out documents. "The trust has one beneficiary, Melissa. But it has conditions, specific conditions Margaret outlined." "What conditions?" "Melissa can inherit the trust, which is now worth about $73,000 with investment growth, only if she maintains a relationship with you, defined as visiting at least once per month, calling at least twice per month for conversations longer than 15 minutes that aren't requests for money, including you in major family holidays. If she fails to meet these conditions for more than 3 consecutive months, the trust goes to charity. St. Michael's Children's Hospital, where Margaret volunteered for 10 years. I stared at him. "Margaret set this up? Why didn't she tell me?" "Because she knew you wouldn't enforce it. She knew you'd keep giving Melissa everything even when Melissa gave nothing back. So she built in an automatic consequence, a boundary you couldn't erase." When does Melissa find out about this trust? That's the second part. Margaret's instructions say you decide when Melissa is informed. Could be now, could be never, could be after you pass. But if you want to invoke it, make Melissa aware of what she's losing by treating you like an ATM. I can send the notification letter today. What would the letter say? Gerald pulled out a draft. Margaret wrote most of it herself. I'll read you the key section. He cleared his throat. Melissa, your mother established this trust because she loved you and wanted you to have something she earned. But she also knew what kind of person you were becoming. Someone who takes without giving. Someone who measures relationships by what you can extract. This trust is yours, $73,000, if you remember how to be a daughter instead of a bill collector. The terms are simple. Visit your father once per month. Call him twice per month for real conversations. Include him in family holidays. Do this consistently, and the money is yours when he passes. Fail to do this for 3 consecutive months, and the money goes to charity, your mother's charity, the place she gave her time when she could have been resting. Your father has spent his life giving you everything. Your mother is giving you one last chance to give something back. Choose carefully. I sat there. Margaret had written that 2 years before she died, when Melissa was still visiting regularly, still calling, before the twins were born, before she married Brad. Margaret had seen it coming, the slow fade, the transactional relationship, the daughter who only called when she needed something. Send the letter, I said. Gerald looked at me. You're sure? This will detonate Melissa's world. She'll be furious. Margaret wrote it. Not me. I'm just delivering a message from her mother. When do you want it sent? Today. Overnight delivery. I want her to have it tomorrow. I'll draft it this afternoon. She'll have it Thursday morning. I stood to leave. Stopped. Gerald, there's something else. My house. It's worth about $380,000 to $80,000 now. In my current will, it goes to Melissa when I die. Correct. Can I change that? It's your house. You can leave it to anyone you want. What are my options? Gerald leaned back. You could leave it to charity. You could leave it to a friend. You could establish a trust that gives Melissa the proceeds only if she meets certain conditions, similar to Margaret's trust. Or you could leave it to someone else entirely. What would hurt most? If I wanted Melissa to understand what she's losing? Gerald was quiet for a moment, then, leave it to someone she'll have to watch enjoy it. Someone who'll remind her every day what she threw away. Like who? Do you have a neighbor, a friend, someone who treated you like family when your daughter didn't? I thought about Carol, my next-door neighbor, 73, widow. Her husband died the same year as Margaret. She brought me dinner every Sunday for a year after Margaret passed, invited me to holidays, checked on me, never asked for money, never wanted anything except company. Last month, Carol's furnace died. She was trying figure out how to pay for it on her fixed income. I'd written her a check for $6,000. She'd cried, tried to refuse, said it was too much. I'd said, Margaret would want me to help. Your family, Carol. And she was. More family than Melissa had been in 2 years. I have someone, I said. Can you draft a new will? I can have it ready by next week. Do it. I left Gerald's office, drove to the bank, signed the papers for the new account. Confirmed Melissa's access was removed. At 4:47 p.m., my phone rang. Melissa. I let it go to voicemail. She called again and again. 5 calls in 10 minutes. Finally, a text. Dad, did you do something to your bank account? My mortgage transfer got declined. I stared at the text. No, how are you? No, can we talk? No acknowledgement that she'd uninvited me from Christmas 7 hours ago. Just irritation that the ATM had stopped working. I texted back, I removed your access to my accounts. 3 dots. Stopped. Started again. Then, what? Dad, what the hell? I have bills due Friday. Then I suggest you pay them with your money. I don't have it. That's why I asked you. Dad, this isn't funny. I need that transfer today. You told me this morning not to come to Christmas because Brad's family is more important. I'm respecting that priority. Brad's family can help with your mortgage. My phone rang immediately. I answered. Are you serious right now? Melissa's voice was shaking, angry. You're doing this because of Christmas? Are you 5 years old? I'm 71, and I'm done being your bank. Oh my God, Dad, it's one Christmas. We'll see you the next week. I told you that. After Christmas, low key, when you have time, like I'm a chore you need to fit in. You're being ridiculous. Brad's family invited us to their house. It's a big event. There's no room. There was room for 30 people, just not me. Because it's their family, Dad. You're not... She stopped. I'm not what, Melissa? Not family? That's not what I meant. Jesus, you're twisting everything. You told me Brad's family is more important. I'm just believing you. I didn't say that. You said it exactly. I said this year is complicated and we're doing Christmas with Brad's family and we'll see you after. That's not saying you're not important. Then why is it always after? Always later? Always when you have time? You text me when you need money or a babysitter? That's it. When's the last time you called just to talk, Melissa? Silence. When's the last time you visited without needing something? More silence. I've given you $356,400 in 6 years, since your mother died. You know how many times you visited her in hospice? 3 days. Total. You left early because Brad had a work thing. Dad, you watched your mother die while checking your phone in the corner. I held her hand for 11 months. You couldn't give her 3 full days. That's not fair. You've taken $52,000 just this year. You know how many times you invited me to the twins' events? Once. Tyler's birthday in March. I stayed for an hour before you said you had to get to Brad's sister's house. Oh my God, here we go. You're doing the guilt trip thing, counting everything you've given like I owe you. You don't owe me money, Melissa. You owe me basic decency. Your mother saw this coming. She knew what you were becoming. What I'm becoming? I'm raising 2 kids. I'm managing a household. I'm busy, Dad. I can't drop everything to visit you every week. Once a month? That's all your mother asked in her trust. Silence. Long silence. What trust? You'll find out tomorrow. Gerald is sending you a letter. Your mother set aside money for you, $73,000. You can have it if you act like a daughter instead of a bill collector. The terms are in the letter. What? Mom had a secret trust, and you're just now telling me? I'm telling you now because you just told me Brad's family is more important than your father. Your mother predicted this. She set up a boundary because she knew I wouldn't. This is insane. You're punishing me for one Christmas. I'm not punishing you. I'm just no longer funding your life while you exclude me from it. The credit card I gave you for emergencies, I canceled it an hour ago. The monthly transfers? Done. You want my money? You earn it by treating me like family. Earn it? I'm your daughter. Then act like it. I hung up. My hands were shaking now. I sat down. The house was quiet. My phone buzzed. Text from Melissa. I can't believe you're doing this. Another text. Brad is going to be so angry. Another. We're going to lose the house. Another. You're going to let your grandchildren be homeless because I didn't invite you to one Christmas? I turned off my phone. The next day, I drove to Carol's house. Knocked. She answered wearing an apron, flour on her hands. Frank, come in. I'm making cookies. Want to help? Actually, I wanted to ask you something. We sat in her kitchen. I told her everything. Margaret's letter, the trust, Melissa's call, the bank accounts. Carol listened. When I finished, she was quiet for a long moment. Your wife was a smart woman, she finally said. Was I wrong to cut her off like that? You didn't cut her off. You set a boundary. There's a difference. She says I'm going to make the twins homeless. The twins' parents can pay their own mortgage, like adults. I'm changing my will too. The house, I'm leaving it to you. Carol's eyes widened. Frank, no. That's too much. That's Melissa's inheritance. Melissa's inheritance is whatever she earns by being my daughter. You've been more family to me in 6 years than she's been in 2. You check on me. You invite me to holidays. You don't want my money. You want my company. But, Frank, Margaret left you $10,000 in her will. She put it in there 2 months before she died. Left it to Carol Brennan, the neighbor who became family. Gerald told me at the will reading. I never mentioned it because Margaret wanted it to be a surprise, but you refused it. Said it should go to Melissa. Because it seemed right. You needed it for your daughter. And I gave it to her. And she spent it on a ski trip with Brad while I skipped a veteran's breakfast to watch her kids. Margaret knew who deserved her kindness. So do I. Carol was crying now. Frank, I don't need your house, but I need to give it to someone who'll appreciate it. Someone who'll understand what it meant to Margaret and me. You will. Melissa won't. She'll sell it the day after my funeral and use the money for another vacation. You don't know that. I know she hasn't been inside this house in 8 months. Last time was Easter. 90 minutes. She spent most of it on her phone. Carol reached across the table, took my hand. Okay. If that's what you want, I'll accept. But on one condition. What? You come to my house for Christmas. My son's family is coming from Ohio. We'd love to have you. I felt something crack in my chest. You're inviting me to Christmas? Of course I am. You're family, Frank. Family. I nodded. Couldn't speak. Just nodded. Thursday morning, Melissa got the letter from Gerald. I know because she called 37 times between 8 a.m. and noon. I didn't answer. Finally, a voicemail. Her voice was shaking, crying. Dad, I got the letter from Gerald about Mom's trust. I don't even know what to say. Mom thought I was using you? She thought I forgot about her? That's not... Dad, please call me. We need to talk about this. This isn't fair. Mom was sick. She wasn't thinking clearly. You can't let this... Dad, please. I deleted it. Another voicemail an hour later. Different tone. Angry now. So you're just not going to answer? You're going to let your lawyer send me letters saying I'm a bad daughter and then ignore me? Real mature, Dad. Real mature. You know what? Fine. You want to play this game? I'll play. Don't expect to see the twins. Don't expect calls. You cut me off. I'm cutting you off. See how that feels. I saved that one. Friday morning, my doorbell rang. I looked through the window. Melissa's car in the driveway. She was on my porch with Brad. I didn't open the door. She rang again. Knocked. Dad! I know you're in there. Open the door. I sat in my chair. The same chair I'd sat in 3 nights ago when she told me not to come to Christmas. Dad, please, we need to talk. This is insane. You can't just... Her voice cracked. You're my dad. Please open the door. Brad said something I couldn't hear. Melissa responded, louder. I don't care if he's being stubborn. He's still my father. They stood there for 10 minutes, knocking, ringing, pleading. Finally, they left. Saturday, a text from Brad. Frank, this is Brad. Melissa is devastated. I don't know what happened between you two, but can we talk? Man to man? Figure this out? The kids are asking about you. This is really hard on everyone. I texted back, the mortgage is due Friday. Your family is important. Ask them for help. He didn't respond. Sunday, Carol invited me to church. I hadn't been since Margaret died. Couldn't sit in the pew where we'd sat together for 30 years. But Carol said, sit with me. New pew, new start. So I did. After the service, Pastor Jim approached. Frank, good to see you. Been a while. Been hard to come back. Understandable. Listen, I heard through the prayer chain that things are tough right now, with Melissa. Want to talk? So we went to his office. I told him everything. When I finished, Pastor Jim leaned back. You know what I think? What? I think Margaret gave you a gift. She saw what you needed to do and gave you permission to do it. That's love. Real love. Not enabling, not pretending. Love that sets boundaries even when it hurts. Melissa thinks I'm punishing her. You're not. You're teaching her. There's a difference. What if she doesn't learn? Then she doesn't. But that's her choice. You've done your part. You raised her. You loved her. You gave her everything for 43 years. If she chooses to see that as transactional, that's her decision, not your failure. I feel like I'm abandoning her. You're not. You're forcing her to stand on her own feet. That's the opposite of abandonment. Monday, December 23rd. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Mr. Morrison? This is Detective Sarah Wells with the County Sheriff's Office. I received a call from your daughter, Melissa Morrison. She's concerned about your welfare. Says you've been acting erratically, not answering calls. She's worried you might be experiencing cognitive decline or a mental health crisis. I sat up. Excuse me? She asked us to do a welfare check. Make sure you're okay. Are you at home? I'm at home. I'm fine. Can I come by? Just to verify? It'll take 5 minutes. Come by. 20 minutes later, Detective Wells was at my door. Young, maybe 30, professional. I let her in, showed her around, answered her questions. So, you're feeling okay? No confusion? No memory issues? No confusion, no memory issues. My daughter is upset because I stopped giving her money. She's trying to make this about my mental state instead of her behavior. I see. Do you have any documentation? Medical records? Anything that shows cognitive function? I have a cognitive evaluation from my doctor, dated last week. Perfect score. I showed her the paperwork. I'd gotten the evaluation Tuesday after reading Margaret's letter. Knew Melissa would try something. Wanted proof. Detective Wells reviewed it. Nodded. This is very thorough. Mr. Morrison, you seem completely lucid and capable. I'll file my report stating no concerns. But I have to tell you, your daughter seemed genuinely worried. Maybe she's just scared. She's scared she lost access to my bank account. Detective Wells' expression didn't change. I can't speak to family dynamics, but from a legal standpoint, you're clearly competent to make your own financial decisions. If she persists, you might want to consult an attorney about harassment. Already have one. She left. I called Gerald. Melissa just sent the sheriff to my house. Welfare check. Said I was having a mental breakdown. Did you show them the cognitive eval? Yes. Good. I'll document this. If she escalates, we can file for a restraining order. It won't come to that. Frank, she's desperate. She just lost her income. She'll try everything. He was right. Tuesday, Christmas Eve, my doorbell rang at 7 a.m. Melissa, with Emma and Tyler, they had presents. I opened the door, didn't invite them in. Merry Christmas, Dad. Melissa's voice was soft, gentle, the voice she used when she wanted something. The kids wanted to see you. They missed you. Emma and Tyler looked cold, confused. Tyler held a wrapped box. This is for you, Grandpa, he said. I took the box. Thank you, Tyler. Emma, you look pretty today. Emma smiled. Mommy said we could see you. She said you were sad. Melissa's eyes were red. Dad, please, can we come in? It's Christmas Eve. The kids made you cookies. I can't do this without you. You're my dad. Where's Brad? At his parents', setting up for tomorrow. For the Christmas I'm not invited to. Her face crumpled. Dad, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I messed up. I shouldn't have said what I said. I was stressed and I wasn't thinking, and please, let us in. Let's have Christmas, like we used to. I looked at Emma and Tyler. They were 7, innocent. Didn't understand why Grandpa wasn't smiling. Did your mom tell you why I'm sad, Emma? Emma nodded. She said you're having a hard time because Grandma died. That's part of it. Did she tell you she uninvited me from Christmas? Emma looked confused, looked at Melissa. Melissa's jaw tightened. Dad, don't. Did she tell you she only calls when she needs money? Dad, stop. They're kids. They should know the truth. The truth? You want to tell them the truth? Fine. Tell them how you cut off their mother 3 days before Christmas because she hurt your feelings. Tell them how you're keeping money their grandma left for them. The money is for you, if you act like a daughter. I am your daughter. I've been your daughter. I had a life, Dad. Kids, a husband. I couldn't visit every week like you wanted. Once a month, Melissa. Your mother asked for once a month. I was busy. Too busy to call unless you needed something? Too busy to invite me to the twins' school events? Too busy to visit your mother while she was dying? Emma started crying. Tyler looked scared. Melissa picked up Emma. We're leaving. Come on, Tyler. Wait, I said. She stopped. I want to give the twins their presents. They shouldn't suffer because we can't figure this out. Melissa hesitated, then nodded. I went inside, got the wrapped gifts from the hall closet, Emma's art set, Tyler's superhero cape and mask. I brought them out to the porch, handed them to the kids. Merry Christmas, I said. I love you both. Tyler hugged me. Love you, Grandpa. Emma hugged me too, still crying. Melissa loaded them in the car, came back to the porch. Dad, I don't know what happened to you, but this isn't you. Mom wouldn't want this. Mom set this up. Read the letter again. Mom was dying. She wasn't rational. She was lucid until the last 2 days. She set up that trust 2 years before she died. She saw what you were becoming, Melissa. So did I. I just didn't want to believe it. What I'm becoming? I'm a mother. I'm doing my best. Your best included telling me not to come to Christmas. It was one... She stopped, took a breath. Dad, if you don't put me back on your bank account, we're going to lose the house. Brad's parents can't help. They're stretched thin with Brad's sister. We have no savings. We need you. Then get jobs. I have 2 kids to raise. So did I. And I worked 50 years to raise you. You can work too. You had Mom. I don't have help. You had me. For 6 years I babysat whenever you called, canceled my plans, drove an hour each way. You never once asked if I was busy, never offered to pay me, just assumed. You're my dad. You're supposed to help. And you're my daughter. You're supposed to love me, not use me. She stared at me, face red, shaking. Fine, fine. You want to throw away your family because I made one mistake? Go ahead, but don't expect me to come running back when you change your mind. Don't expect the twins to forgive you for abandoning them. And don't expect me at your funeral. She walked to her car, drove away. I stood on the porch holding the box Tyler had given me, opened it. Inside, a drawing. Crayon. Tyler's handwriting at the top. I love Grandpa. A picture of me and him, holding hands, smiling. I went inside, sat at the oak table, put my head in my hands, and cried. Christmas morning I woke up at Carol's house, guest bedroom. She'd insisted I stay over Christmas Eve so I wouldn't be alone. We had breakfast, her son Michael and his wife Jennifer and their 3 kids. They treated me like family, asked about Margaret, asked about my work, listened. At 10 a.m., Carol said, "Presents?" She handed me a box. I opened it. Inside, a photo album, pictures of Margaret and me. Carol had collected them, from church events, neighborhood parties, 30 years of photos. Thought you might want these, Carol said. Neighbors have memories too. I couldn't speak, just nodded. Michael handed me another box. This is from all of us. Inside, a woodworking tool set, professional grade. Carol said you used to build furniture. Thought maybe you'd want to get back into it. I looked at Carol. She smiled. You built that table 40 years ago. Maybe it's time to build something new. We spent Christmas Day together. Ate too much. Watched the kids play. Laughed. At 8 p.m., my phone buzzed. Text from Melissa. Merry Christmas, Dad. The twins miss you. No apology. No acknowledgement. Just manipulation. I didn't respond. December 26th, Melissa posted on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, but Carol showed me. Heartbroken this Christmas. My father has cut off all contact with me and my children because I made a mistake. He's refusing to speak to me, refusing to help with bills, and has turned my late mother's memory into a weapon against me. Please pray for our family. Pray that he finds peace and forgiveness. 143 likes. 62 comments. Most were supportive. Praying for you. Family is so hard. You deserve better. But a few were skeptical. One comment from someone named Janet. Didn't you post last month about a ski trip? Maybe spend less on vacations and more on bills. Another from someone named Rick. I've known Frank Morrison for 20 years. He's the kindest man I've ever met. If he cut you off, you did something to deserve it. Carol's comment. Your father has been nothing but generous. Maybe it's time to reflect on your choices instead of playing the victim. You didn't have to do that. I said, Carol. Yes, I did. She's lying. People should know. December 27th, Gerald called. Frank, Melissa hired a lawyer. She's threatening to contest Margaret's trust. Claims Margaret wasn't of sound mind when she created it. Can she do that? She can try. But Margaret had a cognitive evaluation 2 weeks before setting up the trust. She was completely lucid. Melissa won't win. How much will this cost? The trust will cover legal fees. Margaret planned for this too. Of course she did. December 30th, Melissa showed up at my house again, pounded on the door. Dad, I know you're in there. We need to talk. The bank is threatening foreclosure. Brad and I are going to lose everything. Please. I didn't answer. She stood there for 30 minutes, yelling, crying, finally left. January 2nd, Melissa's lawyer sent a letter demanding I restore her bank access, claiming financial elder abuse. Gerald responded. Attached my cognitive evaluation, bank statements showing voluntary transfers, records proving I was competent and acting freely. The lawyer didn't respond after that. January 5th, Brad called. Frank, we need to talk. Melissa is falling apart. She's not sleeping, not eating. The kids are scared. I know you're angry, but this has gone too far. You're destroying my family. I'm destroying your family. I'm not the one who told my father-in-law not to come to Christmas. That was a mistake. She's admitted it. She's apologized. What more do you want? I want her to mean it. The apology came after I cut off the money, not before. So you're going to let your grandchildren lose their home because of pride? No, I'm going to let their parents figure out how to pay their mortgage like adults. You're both under 50, healthy, capable, get jobs. Melissa can't work. The kids are 7. They're in school. Melissa can work. You don't understand how expensive child care is. I raised Melissa on a factory salary, alone. After her mother got sick, I understand exactly how hard it is. Silence. Brad, I gave you $35,000 for your down payment. I've given you over $300,000 in 6 years. You've never paid back $1, never said thank you without asking for more in the same breath. You want my help? Earn it. How? Invite me to Christmas. Visit me once a month. Call me to ask how I'm doing, not what I can give you. Treat me like family instead of a bank. We did invite you. We said we'd see you after Christmas. After. When you had time, when your family wasn't more important. Oh my God, Frank, you're really going to hold on to that one sentence forever? It wasn't one sentence. It was the truth finally coming out. You've been treating me like an ATM for 6 years. Melissa just finally said it out loud. I hung up. January 10th, I got an email. From Emma's school. Notification that I'd been removed from the emergency contact list, also removed from the authorized pickup list. Melissa was erasing me. I forwarded the email to Gerald. Document this. January 15th, Carol invited me to dinner. I brought wine. We sat in her living room after. How are you holding up? She asked. Some days are easier than others. Any word from Melissa? She's trying to contest Margaret's trust. Won't work. Margaret documented everything. Do you miss her? Every day. But I don't miss being used. Carol nodded. That's the difference. You can miss someone and still know the relationship was toxic. I keep thinking about the twins. They don't understand. They will. When they're older, they'll see who was there and who wasn't. What if Melissa turns them against me? Then that's her choice. And her burden. You can't control what she tells them. You can only control what you do. Margaret would know what to say right now. Margaret gave you the tools. The letter, the trust, the permission to set boundaries. She knew this would be hard. That's why she set it up before she died. She was protecting you. I nodded. I just wish I'd listened sooner. You listened when you were ready. That's all any of us can do. February 3rd, Melissa sent an email. Long, detailed, subject, I'm sorry. Dad, I've been thinking a lot. About everything. About what you said. About Mom's letter. About the last 6 years. You were right. About a lot of it. I did take you for granted. I did call only when I needed something. I did treat you like a bank instead of a father. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I was overwhelmed. The twins, the house, Brad's job stress. I felt like I was drowning and you were the only one who could help. So I kept asking, and you kept giving, and I stopped seeing it as generosity. I started seeing it as just what you did. That wasn't fair. I should have visited more, called more, included you more. You deserved better. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know if I can, but I want to try. If you're willing, I'd like to start over, not with money, with time. I'll visit. Once a month like Mom wanted, I'll call, I'll include you, I'll introduce you to the twins' lives again. I can't promise it'll be perfect, but I can promise I'll try. I love you, Dad. I'm sorry it took losing you to realize how much. Melissa. I read it 3 times. Then I called Gerald. I got an email from Melissa. An apology. Good. How do you feel about it? I don't know. It sounds genuine, but she's apologized before, after I cut off the money. This could be another manipulation. Could be. Could also be real. You know her better than I do. What would Margaret say? Gerald was quiet. Then, Margaret would say actions speak louder than words. If Melissa wants back in, she needs to prove it. Not with one email, with months of follow-through. So what do I do? Tell her the terms. She visits once a month for 6 months, calls twice a month, includes you in family events. If she does that consistently, without asking for money, you'll consider restoring the relationship. Not the money, the relationship. And if she fails, then you have your answer. I wrote back. Melissa, I appreciate the apology. I want to believe it's genuine. Here's what I need. For the next 6 months, visit me once per month. Call me twice per month for real conversations, not requests for money. Include me in the twins' lives. Invite me to events. Let me be a grandfather. If you do this consistently, we can rebuild. But I won't restore financial support. You and Brad need to figure that out on your own. If you can't do this, then we'll know where we stand. I love you. I want this to work. But it has to be real. Dad. I hit send. 3 days later, Melissa responded, Okay, I'll try. First visit is this Saturday, 2 p.m. I'll bring the twins. We can have dinner. Saturday, February 8th. Melissa showed up at 2:15 with Emma and Tyler. She looked tired, thinner. Emma and Tyler looked nervous. Come in, I said. They came in, sat at the oak table. I made cookies, I said. Chocolate chip, Margaret's recipe. Emma's face lit up. I remember Grandma's cookies. We ate cookies, talked. Melissa asked about my week, told me about the twins' school, showed me drawings they'd made. At 4:30, Melissa said, We should go, but same time next month? Same time next month. She hugged me. Brief, awkward, but real. Thanks, Dad. They left. I sat at the table, looked at the crumbs, the empty plates, the drawings Emma had left for me. It wasn't forgiveness yet, wasn't trust, but it was a start. February 24th, Melissa called. Hey, Dad, just wanted to check in, see how you're doing. No requests, no emergencies, just calling. We talked for 23 minutes, about nothing important, about everything. When we hung up, I realized I was smiling. March 8th, Melissa visited again, brought the twins. We went to the park, played on the swings, got ice cream. Tyler held my hand. I missed you, Grandpa. I missed you too, buddy. March 19th, Melissa called. Tyler has a school play next week, Thursday at 6. Would you want to come? I'd love to. Thursday, March 27th. I sat in a gymnasium full of parents and watched Tyler play a tree in a play about seasons. He had 2 lines, delivered them perfectly. Afterward, Melissa introduced me to Tyler's teacher. This is my dad, Tyler's grandfather. Not my dad who I don't talk to, not my dad who's complicated, just my dad. April 12th, Melissa visited, alone, no kids. Can we talk? She said. Of course. We sat in the living room. Margaret's chair, the one Melissa used to sit in as a kid. I've been going to therapy, she said, trying to figure out why I treated you the way I did, why I took you for granted. What did you figure out? A lot of it was grief. After Mom died, I didn't know how to process it, so I just kept moving, kept busy, Kept asking you for help because it was easier than dealing with the fact that she was gone. You could have talked to me. I know. But you were grieving too. I didn't want to burden you. So you turned me into an ATM instead. She flinched. Yeah, I did. And I'm sorry. Really sorry. I know. Do you forgive me? I thought about it. About the last 6 years. The money. The calls. The dismissals. Christmas. But also about the last 2 months. The visits. The calls. The effort. I'm getting there, I said. Keep showing up. Keep trying. We'll get there. She nodded. Cried a little. I don't want to lose you, Dad. You haven't. But you came close. May 10th, Melissa called. Dad, Emma's birthday is next week. We're having a party at the house. Small. Just family. Would you come? I'd love to. And Brad's parents will be there. I wanted you to know. I know things are complicated. It's fine. I'm there for Emma, not for anyone else. May 17th, I went to Emma's birthday party. Brad's parents were polite, distant. We didn't talk much, but Emma hugged me, opened my present, a jewelry-making kit, squealed. Thanks, Grandpa. This is the best. I stayed for 2 hours, ate cake, watched Emma open presents, talked to Melissa. When I left, Brad walked me to the car. Frank, I just wanted to say thanks for giving Melissa another chance. She's been different the last few months. Happier. She's trying. I see that. We're trying too. I got a second job. Melissa's looking for part-time work. We're figuring it out. Good. He offered his hand. I shook it. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But acknowledgement. June 14th, Melissa called. Dad, it's been 4 months, 6 visits, 8 calls. I've kept my word. You have. Do you think we're okay now? I think we're getting there. What do I have to do to get all the way there? Keep showing up, not because you have to, because you want to. I do want to. I really do. Then we'll be okay. July 4th. Carol invited me to a barbecue. Melissa and her family were invited too. We all sat together, ate burgers, watched the twins play with Carol's grandkids. Melissa and Carol talked, laughed. At one point, Melissa hugged Carol. Thank you, Melissa said, for being there when I wasn't. Carol smiled. I'm just glad you're here now. August 20th, 6 months since Melissa's first visit. She showed up at 2 p.m. with the twins and a gift. What's this? I asked. Open it. Inside, a photo album. Pictures from the last 6 months. Visits, calls, Tyler's play, Emma's birthday, the 4th of July. I wanted you to see, Melissa said, that I'm serious. That this isn't temporary. I'm here. I'm staying. I flipped through the album, saw my face in the pictures, smiling, relaxed, happy. Thank you, I said. No, thank you. For not giving up on me. For setting the boundary. For loving me enough to say no. I hugged her. Long. Tight. The way I used to when she was little. I'm proud of you. I said. She cried. I'm sorry I made you wait so long to say that. You're here now. That's what matters. September 15th, Gerald called. Frank, it's been 6 months. Melissa's met the terms of the trust. Do you want to release it to her? I thought about it. The $73,000 Margaret had set aside. The conditions. The test. Not yet, I said. Why not? Because the money isn't the point. The relationship is. Melissa's doing this without expecting the money. That's what Margaret wanted. Let's see if it lasts another 6 months. And if it does, then she gets the trust, and my house when I die, and everything else, because she'll have earned it. October 10th, Melissa called. Dad, Thanksgiving's coming up. Would you want to host, like you used to? Host? Yeah, I'll help cook. Brad will bring his parents. Carol can come. The twins can help with decorations. Make it a real family thing. I felt tears in my eyes. I'd love that. Good, because I already invited everyone. Thanksgiving, my house was full. Melissa and Brad, the twins, Brad's parents, Carol, Pastor Jim, Michael and his family. We sat at the oak table, the one I'd built 40 years ago, the one Margaret and I had shared for 38 years. I looked around, at faces I loved, at people who showed up, and I thought about Margaret, about her letter, about the trust, about the boundary she'd given me permission to set. She'd been right. Melissa had needed to lose something to understand what she'd taken for granted, and I'd needed to let her. Before we ate, I raised my glass. I want to say something. Everyone looked at me. 6 years ago, I lost my wife, the love of my life, my partner, my best friend, and I thought I'd lost my daughter too. Not to death, to distance, to being taken for granted. Melissa's eyes filled with tears. But this year, I got her back because she chose to show up, not because she had to, because she wanted to. I looked at Melissa. I'm proud of you. Your mother would be proud of you. Thank you for remembering what family means. Melissa stood, walked over, hugged me. Thank you for not giving up on me, she whispered. We ate, laughed, told stories. The twins fell asleep on the couch. Carol took photos. At the end of the night, Melissa helped me clean up. Dad, she said, I know I don't deserve it, but is there any way we could talk about the trust? I'm not asking for the money. I just want to know if I've passed, if Mom would be happy. I looked at her, at the woman she'd become, the daughter who'd lost her way and found it again. Your mother would be very happy, I said. And yes, you've passed. Gerald will release the trust next week. She started crying. I don't need the money. I just needed to know. I know. That's why you get it. December 20th, 1 year after Melissa told me not to come to Christmas. She called. Dad, Christmas plans. We're doing it at your house this year. I'm cooking. Brad's helping. The twins want to decorate your tree with Grandma's ornaments, the ones from the attic. Is that okay? I couldn't speak for a moment, just held the phone. Dad? That's more than okay. Good, because we already invited everyone. Carol, Pastor Jim, Brad's parents. It's going to be big and loud and chaotic, just how Grandma liked it. Christmas Day, my house was full again. Tree decorated with popsicle stick stars and construction paper angels. Margaret's ornaments. 40 years of memories. The twins opened presents under the tree. Emma got an easel. Tyler got a cape and mask, a new set, since he'd outgrown the old one. Melissa handed me a gift. This is from all of us. Inside, a framed photo. Margaret and me, from our 30th anniversary, 3 months before the cancer took her. Below it, an inscription. Love doesn't keep score, but it does keep showing up. Margaret Morrison. I held the frame, stared at Margaret's face, her smile. She left that quote in her journal, Melissa said. I found it when we were going through her things. Thought you should have it. I hugged her, held on tight. Merry Christmas, Dad. Merry Christmas, sweetheart. That night, after everyone left, I sat in Margaret's chair, looked at the photo, read the inscription again. Love doesn't keep score, but it does keep showing up. Margaret had shown up for me for 38 years. I'd shown up for Melissa for 43. And now, finally, Melissa was showing up for me. Not perfectly, not without stumbles, but consistently, with effort, with love. That was the gift. Not the money, not the trust, not the house. The gift was showing up. And we were all finally here. If you liked this story, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to more stories, click on the window on the right. Thank you for being with us.